Hey friend, can I ask you a question? Have you ever had a moment where you wanted to kindly whisper, God, where are you? Not in anger, just in sheer exhaustion, in heartbreak, in a kind of quiet ache that no one else sees? I know I have. Sometimes I think we imagine that faith means always feeling strong, always seeing progress. But what about the seasons when we're stuck? We're drowning on our thoughts on replay, or when the prayers feel unanswered and hope feels like it's running on fumes. Let's talk about that. Not with pat answers, but honestly with empathy, and maybe, just maybe, a little light at the end of the tunnel. I remember lying in bed one night, eyes wide, open in the dark. Everything in my world felt like it was hanging on by one thin, very thin thread. Work felt heavy. People I thought would stay walked away. I had done all the right things, prayed, fasted, tithed, forgave, and still nothing. I whispered into the night, Lord, I need a miracle right now. I just need to know that you see me. Have you ever felt that way? Not even asking for fireworks, just a whisper from heaven to remind us that our pain isn't invisible. It's strange how silence can feel so loud. But what I'm learning to embrace is this. Maybe God's silence isn't his absence. Maybe it's an invitation instead. I know what it feels like to live in the middle of not where we were, but not where we hoped to be. Like we were treading water in the midst of almost land. We watch other people move forward, new jobs, new homes, new joy, and we're genuinely happy for them. But deep down, we're wondering, God, did you forget about me? Did you forget about us? We try to stay positive, to pray boldly, but there are days when even getting out of bed feels like an act of faith. And let's be real, waiting is a lonely time. Not everyone understands the pain of praying for years and seeing no change, of believing with all our heart and watching nothing shift. But here's something I'm beginning to hold close. If we're still waiting, it's not because we've done something wrong. Maybe it's because the story is still being written. There was a day I almost walked away from everything. Not because I didn't believe in God, but because I didn't believe he'd show up for me, and I was afraid to fail. I thought maybe I've missed it. Maybe it's too late. Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe God only moves for people who have their lives more together. And that's not me. And then a quiet thought came, like an arrow. Would you still trust me if the blessing came on a different timeline than you planned, Gloria? That question wrecked me, because I realized there and then, I wasn't just waiting for something, I was waiting with conditions. God, I'll believe you if you do it by this date. God, I'll trust you if it looks like this. But the more I sit with it, the more I wonder if faith without conditions is where the real healing actually begins. If we were sitting across from each other right now, coffee in hand, and you asked me, Gloria, how do I hold on when God feels so silent? I wouldn't give you a formula. I'd just share what's been keeping me going so far. And the first thing I'd tell you is God is still moving even when we can't see him. Like roots growing underground, the most important shift often happens in silence and in darkness. And the second thing I tell you is our worth isn't measured by answered prayers. We are seen, we are loved, and we are held, not because of what we've received, but because of who we are. And the third thing I tell you is the wait is not wasted. It never is. I know it sounds like a cliche, but maybe, just maybe, these quiet, unseen seasons are actually shaping in us things that we can't even articulate yet. I'm still in the middle of some unanswered prayers, my friends. Still carrying questions that haven't been wrapped up in bows yet. I'm waiting. But I'm beginning to believe that silence doesn't mean stillness. And waiting doesn't mean we're forgotten. Maybe we don't need all the answers today. Maybe we just need to know we're not alone in the waiting season. If your heart is tired, if your faith feels worn thin, if you're wondering whether God really sees you, I get it. I do, sincerely. And maybe we're not stuck. Maybe we're just being held steady until it's time to move to the next right step. So here's to quiet prayers, to mustard seed faith, and walking this road together.